And so we have arrived, Pool C for the men. South Africa, USA, Kenya, and Ireland. First off, I just want to give a big thank you to the Brown family. Those are my little cousins that you saw in all those previous videos. We were doing the best that we could to try to make these pool breakdowns a little entertaining for you, and they had so much fun with it, and I'm just very grateful that they were able to get involved. They took second place in the 2020 World Rugby 7 Series, taking 3 gold medals and 3 silver medals. South Africa is dangerous and lethal across the board. They come with a blitzing defense right up in your face. They have speedster playmakers that could change the momentum of a game so fast, and it's the type of squad that you do not want to get down against. If you find yourself down against South Africa, it is a very tough hill to climb back. Next up is USA, and there's a bit of history here in the making. So from 2015 to 2018, USA always finished around the center of the pack in that 5th to 6th seed spot. But then in 2019, they absolutely exploded in the World Rugby 7 Series, finishing 2nd place and almost winning the entire thing. But then in 2020, they dropped back down to 7th place. I'm sure there's been some interesting conversations in those locker rooms. Now, here in 2021, we haven't really been able to see them in full action. It always has a mixture blend of some of the new guys featured onto the roster instead of just the core guys that were on that 2019 series. Now going into the Olympics though, the 2019 core guys are back. They're ready to go. Tons of firepower across the board. Can they get back to the way that they were in 2019 and even surpass that mark, or will we see them take another step back at the Olympics? You know, just in life, when you spend a lot of time with somebody, feathers eventually get ruffled. That's just the way that it is, because we're imperfect people trying to collectively come together as a unit, and those things happen. But because USA is still together and we're still seeing these core guys locked in, ready to go, playing with each other, I like to believe that they've persevered through some of the things that have happened in 2020, and they are going to come out very excited, very fun to watch, and red hot in Tokyo. Next up is Kenya, arguably one of the most physical teams here at the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. And because of that physicality, they allow themselves to be able to stay in matches, but it's not done consistently. If they're in good form in Tokyo, do not be surprised if they get through the knockout rounds. And the last team is Ireland, the hottest team right now coming into the Olympics. They just won the last Olympic qualifier, tons of downhill runners, tons of speed, tons of athleticism, and the unit just looks like they are getting closer and closer together and maybe peaking at the most perfect time coming into the Olympics. Things are clicking and you're riding momentum. It is very dangerous. Here's what to watch for in Pool C. I am calling this the down to the last second pool of death, because this pool features the most talent out of the whole entire Olympics, in my opinion. And when you have tons of firepower across the board on these teams, you may see a lot of close matches. And when you see a lot of close matches, you don't have a lot of point differential. And if you don't have a lot of point differential and it comes down to point differential to see who gets to go to the knockout round, it's very possible that there's only going to be 2 teams coming out of this amazing pool instead of 3. Time to go into the players to watch for this pool. But as everything I just said, you need to understand that there is so much talent in this pool that I'm definitely going to forget a name. South Africa, Angelo Davids, Broncos Dupreez, Selvin Davids, and Stedman Gans. And JC Pretorius, can't forget him. For Team USA, Perry Baker, Carlin Isles, Madison Hughes, Danny Barrett, Stephen Thomasine, Martin Osefo, of course the OG Falau Nua. Kenya, we have Collins Injera and William Baka. For Ireland, we have Jordan Conroy, Terry Kennedy, and Harry McNulty. Now it's time for prediction time. But in all seriousness, as I mentioned in Pool B for the men's, I was wrestling back and forth with whether I was going to take 3 teams from Pool B or 3 teams for Pool C. And I decided to go with 3 teams in Pool C because I believe that we will possibly have a scenario where there will be 3 teams that will finish 2-1, and then the other pools will finish 1-2, and they will have to go through as point differential. But for this pool, if you just have the 2-1 record, you don't even have to worry about point differential. You could see a scenario where, you know, South Africa beats USA, but then Ireland beats South Africa, and USA beats Ireland. And yeah, so there you have it. I'm going to go with South Africa, USA, and Ireland out of Pool C. And it's got to be that way, man, because that is just going to make a beautiful knockout rounds. And I cannot wait to see all that go down. Thanks so much for watching, guys.